picture this is speaks 1,000 words. Picture this is when you look at the pictures, you can tell the emotions, you can tell the story. And if you have to look at the pictures beside me right now, what you can decipher from the picture is the current mood at Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes absolutely unhappy. Ruben Amorim looks quite confused after the game against Newcastle yesterday. They lost by 4 goals to 1, of course. Their first goal from Ghana show. It was as if, they picked up form already. But they picked up 4 goals. And this is on the back of using, what is his name, Bayındır as the goalkeeper, dropping Onana, off the back of his mistakes at the Lyon game. So, Onana right now would be feeling some vindication of the fact that, okay, maybe I am not the problem. What if exactly you look inward and look at what exactly is happening with our team? What is happening with our defense? What kind of business has the INEOS done over time? Bringing in Zexi, bringing in Sancho, bringing in Oigland, bringing in these guys. What business have you done over time to strengthen the squad? Are the players brought in, are they the quality of the players that are supposed to be playing for a big club like Manchester United? There are many questions that are going to be asked in this video that I'm making right now. Are the INEOS the problem? Is Amorim, clueless? Are the ex-footballers, are they too overcritical of what is happening at Manchester United? Are fans just so impatient enough to wait to see the result? Because according to the statistics we have here, it will tell you that in 21 games since Ruben Amorim arrived at Manchester United, he has won 6 out of those matches, drawn 5 and lost 10. So when you look at a record like this, it makes it quite difficult for you to be able to defend the manager. Because I'm not sure there is any team in Europe, even across the world, that will have their manager, lose 10 matches, drawn 5 and win 6, and they'll be happy with that kind of a manager. Because right now on the league table, Manchester United are currently 14th on the league table with 38 points. They have played 32 games, and in none of these matches, they have lost, they have lost 14 matches. That is for Manchester United. So how did Manchester United arrive at this position where they are not able, to cough out results, where they are not able to do the things that the champions they were do? So guys, I really want to hear from you, very Manchester United fans. I want to understand what is going on with Manchester United. Is the manager the problem? Are the INEOS the problem? The Ratcliffe, the Glazers? Who exactly is the problem at Manchester United? Is recruitment the problem? Let us have a discussion about it. Yesterday, after the match, of course, they had a ranking. And Rekin had this to say.
Not at the moment. You mentioned there nobody likes to lose games, of course not, but sometimes it's the way you lose. It's the way they give up some of the goals in the second half. Obviously some mistakes from players, losing possession. Obviously you knew Newcastle were going to put you under pressure, obviously. So that's the big hang-up you'd have. They've lost 14 league games, and they lost 14 last season. So that's why you have to point the finger at this group of players. No, the only defence I have, obviously, for a lot of the players, a lot of them are still new to the Premier League. And the manager's new to the Premier League. I think the manager, if you spoke to him, I think he's scratching his head. He's frustrated in that interview, of course. He wants to focus on the next game, but you also have to reflect on the game today. That's where we're at. I bet you he can't believe how bad the United team is. I bet he's obviously can't say that, and he's talking about recruitment this summer. But this group of players, the mistakes they're making, I've mentioned.
So guys, do you actually support his notion here? Because he's actually not blaming, and he's technically not blaming the manager, right? He's giving the manager enough time to say, okay, maybe you have, this summer to bring in the players that you want yourself, bring them in and see what you can do with these players. On the other hand, he's blaming the players for not for being lazy, for not wanting to do enough, for not wanting to. So now, how do we compare this situation to what exactly is happening over there at Liverpool? And a slot came in, picked up, Klopp's team. The only person he brought in himself. I'm not even sure he was the one that brought him in. Anyways, he's what's his name now? I've forgotten this guy's name. This last transfer that he did, I remember right, but I've forgotten it right away. That was the only transfer that they did, that they brought in that individual. So Arne Slot has basically used, what Klopp left for him. Probably winning the Premier League title. Now it's not even probably now, they are winning the Premier League title, because looking at the league table right now, they are 13 points clear of Arsenal. They are 13 points clear of Arsenal. So when you now come back to Manchester United, Ruben Amorim coming in, even though he did not come in from the start of the season, which is quite understandable. But he came in with a lot of promise of the fact that he's going to change the way Manchester United are. Pushed Rashford out of the club, pushed Sancho out of the club. Of course, you can have the argument of the fact that maybe they do not want to play, maybe they are not the serious type of players. But it would have been worthy of Ruben Amorim if, for example, all of these players that left the club actually translated to him getting results. But unfortunately, except for Sancho, Rashford is doing amazingly well at Aston Villa. What's his name now? That went to, a club in Spain. He's doing amazingly well as well. Doing amazingly well. These were the players that were brought by Ten Hag. So when you look at all of these things, you begin to ask questions that, is it that it is Ruben Amorim that is not good enough? Because as a football manager, you have to manage what you have at the right moment, as at that point in time. And in January transfer window, they had the opportunity of probably strengthening the squad more, just like the way Arsenal, for example, had the opportunity of strengthening their own squad more. So we can blame the owners of these teams. Yes, we can. But also we need to really, really understand the place of the manager. What kind of style are you playing? What are you looking at? What are the things you are doing? One of the tweets I saw, of course, on Twitter is by Goldbridge. It says every United fans knew we were rotating. Every United fan knew we did most likely lose because Newcastle are better than us. Perspective is key. Don't let the ex-players and media agenda make you blame Amorim. Thursday is all that matters. United. So when you're saying Thursday is all that matters, United, what of the ones that you have lost? What of the matches that you have lost? The wins that you have not been able to gather? Dropping Onana for Bayındır, hopefully, because one thing people do not know is that move yesterday was a make or break for Onana. If, for example, Bayındır performed amazingly well yesterday, it's probably the end of the career of Onana. It might not be wearing that shirt anymore, or it might only be wearing that shirt, in a cup match. In a cup match. So we have to blame Ruben Amorim for not sticking to his guns, for not even understanding his own players. Because I believe there were some things that could have been resolved. He wanted to be Manchester United were managers as a culture of always wanting to be the boss. They are the ones that want to be the boss from A to Z, and I do not think they give room for compromise. So we have seen players like Jesse Lingard, left Manchester United for as far as Asia. We have seen Cristiano Ronaldo leave. We have seen a lot of all of these guys leave Manchester United on a very, very bad time. Probably we are going to be seeing Rashford leaving now as well to Aston Villa, or maybe to another club. We are also on the verge of seeing Sancho also leaving. So what exactly is happening to Manchester United? What is happening with this recruitment? What is happening with the egos of the managers that they are not able to manage their own players very, very well? Manage your players in such a way that you can resolve any issues with them. You can make them become useful. You can make them, because the only pillar holding Manchester United right now is Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes injured, and they are probably going to go to relegation. I can tell you for free, Bruno Fernandes injured, and Manchester United probably are going to go to relegation. So guys, what do you think is the problem? What do you think is happening? I want to hear from you. Your opinion matters a lot. Ruben Amorim, of course, as a manager, had to back his players, and here he had to say something. He said, on Onana. If you look at the season, I've made more mistakes than the players during this last month. It happens. It can happen if you play football and a lot of games that you will make a mistake. I think that has to do with Onana. So these are these are critical things that we have to look at. These are the things that are happening currently at Manchester United. Manchester United is not a place to want to play football right now. So guys, I don't really even know how much of this to cover. I don't really know even what more of this to say. Are the INEOS the problem? Is the kind of investment that they have done, is it a problem? Is it the manager that is the problem, that lacks ideas? So remember to drop your comments in the comment section, guys. Until next time, I'm going to see you. Thank you.